Alright guys, what's up? This is Ducky. I'm going to be doing another op tutorial for Jett today. This one's actually
Careful
going to
at
be
the
on my...
edges. Not sure if I could catch you in time if you fell off.
Okay,
I
thanks
mean,
Jett.
I'd try, of course. My
So,
ult's ready.
this one's going to be on Ascent, which is actually my favorite Jett map. Mainly, I mean I can explain why it's my favorite map throughout the tutorial, but basically it's really wide open, it's pretty good for opping, and it has a lot of updraft areas for Jett. So, we're going to start on defense as per usual. We start toward A site. The same concepts will apply for my other videos, so if you haven't seen those, you can go ahead and find those on my channel. But basically, for defending, opping is sort of the same idea. You're gonna want to hold where they spawn, like the place they're gonna come from the area that they spawn. So for this side of the map, it's gonna be right here. You can hold it right here. I think the barrier's like right here, so you can't actually hold this like this. But I mean, as soon as the barrier goes away, you can peek like this and just wait for them. The only thing you have to watch for is up here, because people often jump um, up here from the bike, which I'll show you on attack side. But basically, you'll hear them jump from right here. So if you hear them try to jump, you can move like this so they can't see you from here, and just hold this angle because this is a free kill as well. Either way, but by default, just hold this, and if you hear them start to jump, you can shoot the aim up like this, or I mean, play how you want, but just be cautious of them jumping up here because people often peek together. So what this looks like from here is like this. You'll be right there. The only thing you have to watch for is flashes. If you get flash, I'd recommend just falling back like this. And so what this will look like from them up here, you see, whenever you jump, you always make a noise. Like whenever I jump, there's that little noise right there. So basically, if you hear that jumping noise, then you're gonna want to watch up here. And this is what this will look like for them. I mean, if you have a good shot, then there's no way they live unless you like leg them or something, which is unlucky. So yeah, if you get flashed or random blinded, unless your teammate's here with you, I would just fall back straight away. You can smoke this, fall back, and that's pretty much all for defending back there. So, but from this point, what you want to do, you can either fall back to like one of three positions, or probably more than three positions, but it kind of depends how the enemy team's playing. It kind of depends how you want to play. So basically, two of the most common spots you fall back to are heaven, so I like to come back like this. If it sounds like there's like 4 or 5 A main, you come back and you can hold an angle like this, or like this, and wait for the free pick. This is good because people don't often expect you to sit here, but it's bad because you're kind of stuck here. If like 3 people swing, you can try to dash out, but just be cautious. If you're over here, this is where enemies will probably expect you to be, because this is where a lot of people opt from. But the pro to this spot is you can quickly get behind cover and most likely will be safe after you shoot. Another place you can fall back after you fall back from this initial position is over here. So this is good because you can actually hold like this, or you can help your team hold from cat. Because if they're coming A, there's a good chance 1 or 2 will be coming from cat, and if they're all 5 A main, then just hold from this angle like this, because this is really good as long as you you know, don't whiff your shots, of course, because this is a pretty tight little angle to hold. But yeah, you can hold like this, you can hold like this, and another thing you can do is come up here and hold like this. This is really good if there's a cat push, or like pushing at a tree, but you don't really need to break the glass. You can come around from the ramp, so that there's even less of a chance that they know, and just shoot through the glass and kill them. But that's basically it for A site. You can opt from other areas as well, like back here, but these are pretty common places to sit, so be careful. And yeah, there's other spots you can sit on this site, but it's not great for opping. If you want more spots for this site for like your ult or for specific guns, just let me know. Leave a comment. Leaving a comment is the most optimal way that you guys can sort of reach out to me, and you know, let me know what other kind of ideas you want. But so yeah, we're gonna go and move to B, and then I'll talk about mid, and then we'll move to attack. So B site is going to be, you know, the same idea. Like I said, you're gonna hold the angle from where the areas that they're spawning from. This can be applied to every site on every map. So you're gonna hold like this. Like I said, the only thing you have to worry about is getting flashed. You can hold a tight angle like this if you're confident in your reaction time, or you can hold a little bit wider. Either way, it's the same idea. You hold and you just wait. If you want to play really aggressive, you can come like this, because if you hold up like this, people expect you to be in this corner, but they really won't expect you to be like holding like this. And if you shoot, get a kill, don't dash that way. Shoot, get a kill, dash out. You should be able to live unless they flash you out and you really get like caught, or you dash in the wrong direction or something. But yeah, basically, I wouldn't suggest doing that unless you're really confident in your opping skills. But you can hold like this. This is pretty pretty common angle to op. So yeah, but basically this is it. You come back if you miss a shot or if you get a kill, you come back. You can opt from here. You can opt from back
Here.
that side of CT. You can opt from stairs. You can opt from site, but I wouldn't suggest opting from site. You can also come up into market. You can also just start in market if your teammate's already playing like B and you don't want to hold from the start because you're gonna get flashed anyway, or like omen blinded. Yeah, if you're gonna get omen blinded like this,
Here.
there's really no point. Like if they always blind with an omen there, there's no point in starting there because you're just gonna waste your dash or you know, whatever abilities to get out. So hold like this. This is good. I really like holding this angle because people, although people might expect you here, they don't usually expect an op from here. So that's a free kill. You also have to be careful from mid whenever this is happening. So make sure like a teammate might be watching mid, or if there's no teammate watching mid, it's your job to hold mid. Yeah, B's. That's about it for B. It's sort of the same as A site, but basically you just hold from here or market, or if you're not holding up close. So yeah, and moving on to mid. If you guys have any questions about that, like I said, leave comments. Yeah, after I show you this, I'm going to talk about rotating on defense because it's something that opping on Jett is definitely necessary for. But yeah, opping mid, there's actually a couple ways you can do it. So you can hold this angle or top mid. So basically there's going to be a barrier here, right? But as soon as the run starts, you can hold an angle like this. And enemies will not expect this as much as the other two angles from like here and here because the most common angles are definitely those two. But good Jetts will also op mid. And I'll explain how to rotate it with an op in a second. So you hold that angle, and you can hold here. Honestly, I kind of like holding this better because there's a good chance people are going to be here. But if you know they like going mid-link right here a lot, then you hold like this. You could even hold farther out, but be careful for a Sova arrow. You get spammed through this wall. And if after that initial pick, it's just like these two positions. If you don't get the pick, if you get flashed, or if you get a pick, just come back. You can opt from, in my opinion, this is the best place to opt, just because it's very easy for you to get out of. Just make sure that you're aware if they're coming from the left or the right. If they're coming from mid-length, there's a good chance they're going to come from the right. But they can also come from the left, so be careful. You can opt from pizza, but you're kind of stuck. You can opt from market as well. For example, with the like top cat, you can opt like this. And then the Sabrosa there. And there's the stairs you can opt. But yeah. So from that's pretty much how to op on defense on this map. But real quick, I'm going to talk about how you should know how to rotate with an op on Jett. So Jett's a good thing about Jett, and some of the best Jett players will not play the same sites consistently because with an op, you're a very valuable asset. If you think about whenever you're playing against an operator and you're getting destroyed by the operator, the odds of the enemy, or the odds of you going into the operator, like where the operator was when you died to it, is very low. So what that means you should do when you're defending is swap your position a lot, right? Because if you're sitting A every single round and they come to you twice out of the whole defensive half, then that's kind of a few wasted rounds that you have an op just doing nothing with, right? Because retaking with an op is much more difficult than holding an angle just at the start of a round. So if you kill some people on A with an op, right? Say you hold this angle, you kill someone, and then they leave. The next round, they're probably not going to go A. So that means you should either pick a mid or B. I would probably pick B because people don't like going, people like going to sites most commonly. So it's kind of like just a mental guessing game, is what I'm trying to say. So say you get the kill, initial pick here, next round you get the pick here, and then they're like, okay, yeah, this guy's just going to be opping. And so they're probably going to play slower if they're actually a good team. So then I would come mid, look for pick here or here. And then after that, you can go back to A or B. It doesn't really matter. It comes down to a lot of practice and just trying to have good prediction skills. I mean, some games you're not going to be able to predict enemies at all because they're just really weird, and that's okay. But that doesn't mean you still can't get kills. In some games, you'll predict like 90% success rate where they're going to go. So yeah, that's something I wanted to say. It's really really good if you can predict where they're going to go. But yeah, so moving on to attack, we'll talk about how to op on A. So like I always say, opping on attack is much harder because you actually have to take a site with an op, and if your team's not with you, it's almost impossible to fully take a site unless you're an absolute god. But so yeah, using what we know from opping on defense, we can apply that to attack. So if there's an enemy here, there's a good chance there's going to be an enemy there, not necessarily with an op, but you can jump with an op like this and just throw the enemies off. And if you have a decent shot, then it's free kill, especially if they're not one-tapping you with the rifle. But if they are upping, then it's going to be much more risky to peek. You can have your teammate flash or drone. If you have one of those, if you don't have either of those, then you can try to jiggle peek, but it's still kind of dangerous. But yeah, if this is clear, you come up, If you're alone, I'll show you all the things you need to check. You need to check here. Just be cautious of everything. Like here is especially dangerous behind this box, but you also need to clear heaven. They can be hell or Jin. And so you're gonna need help with your team to push in, because obviously you can't just dash in with an op. I mean you can, but it's not gonna be super effective most of the time. You can ult, but then again if you dash in with your ult and an op, and you just deliver the enemy team an op, and that's gonna make it even harder. So say you get a pick somehow with your team, maybe you kill one. You can dash in, because there's a good chance there's not gonna be anyone else on site. But yeah, from this point, once you get the site control, that's the most important thing to understand is you're basically defending again. So this is where the operator becomes a big problem for the enemy team again, even if they're on defense. So you can push up, you can play aggressive because people won't expect this. But yeah, just be cautious. Like if this glass is broken, I wouldn't sit here because they could walk up on you and see your gun. But if you hear the glass break, then you can drop, you can hold this. People won't expect this. I wouldn't suggest pushing up much further than that. You can close the door, or if the door is not closed, you can hold something like this or this. But people will most commonly sit with an op back here, just because, you know, it's a longer distance area. Just as long as flank's covered, assuming flank's covered with like a tripwire or trapwire or killjoy utility, you can hold like this, and then you can hold heaven, or you can hold door depending on how your team's playing. And yeah, basically that's how you're gonna want to hold A once you get control of it on attack. So moving on to B site attack, sort of the same thing again, but I'll just show you just so you can kind of understand how it works. So again, the angle people like to peek aggressively is right here, just like I showed you when defending. Doesn't matter if they have an op or a rifle or whatever gun, like a sheriff. So like I said, you can jump peek, you can jiggle, you can have your team flash, and also make sure you clear close right here. You shouldn't obviously be going first with an op. I mean, you can, but it's up to you how you play. So this, you have to be careful logs, you have to be careful market, you have to be careful here, and just make sure your team's smoking, and hopefully you get the kill. One can be here, one can be right here, although this spot's less common. Make sure you close the door as well. And then once you get a kill, you can dash out. You don't have to play exactly how I'm doing this, but I actually really like playing this spot with an op, because people, first of all, people don't really check this spot that often, unless you're really high rank, but for most people, it's going to be a pretty good spot to sit. Like, I would say 85–90% of the time people don't check this, like diamond below. So you can sit here as long as you don't make too much noise. Once they break the door, you hold this angle. But if they're also coming out from CT, you just gotta be quiet, be patient, get a kill, and then I wouldn't suggest this spot if you're not confident with the op though. But this is something you can do. Also, you can push up CT, and as long as the door is closed and as long as flank's covered, then this is completely fine. You can hold like this, or if they're coming from mid, free kills like that. And yeah, so otherwise you can play on site, like back site is okay to play. Just like playing, that's the equivalent of playing here on A site, but you can hold like this. I would say opping is definitely worse for this site just because of how, like, you can just get sandwiched pretty easily. So you can hold this or here, and also just lane. But if you get sandwiched and you're playing by yourself, this is kind of dangerous. So yeah, it's good to go for aggressive picks if you're confident on your ability to get the picks. You can also hold flank. Yeah, playing B main after you get the site's also pretty solid. If you have to hold the flank, hold it. If you have a killjoy turret or some kind of utility covering it, you don't have to worry about it. Holding like this is really, really good. Just gotta watch for the market door, same ideas. And yeah, you can even play from lane. But yeah, upping here is pretty good. I would say upping A is a little better, but they're both pretty solid. And yeah, upping mid now. This is actually kind of good, honestly. You can up like this. Hold the cat push, which is pretty common, honestly. It's pretty common for people to push out. That's a mask. I didn't realize that, but yeah, sometimes they push out a cat. This is another place they peek from close mid. One of these two sides, so you can watch for those, and you can also watch for right here. If you're holding this, you got to be kind of careful for this as well. So you can go back and forth like this, or you can have your teammates smoke this. But if they smoke, it doesn't necessarily mean they won't push out of the smoke, especially if they're on eco. If you have a teammate with you, you can have them hold that for you, hold the push, and you can just hold like this, see if they peek market, because peeking market's pretty common for an enemy team. If no one's peeking anything, then if you can have your teammate drone out of here and clear close left and right, because jiggling these two corners is really hard with an op. But you can also have your teammate flash, and if this is cleared, you can actually start walking up aggressively, you know? You just gotta be careful, see if anyone's peeking. If no one's peeked up like for 30 seconds, there's a good chance no one will probably peek, but someone might, so just be careful. So the door's still closed, but it won't normally be closed. You can hold like that. There's a good chance someone might be in that corner. might be CT. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't walk up with an op like this by yourself. Um, if you're pushing with your team, it's better. But also, you can op like this. The enemy team will hear you updraft, but I mean, you can hold like this. This is pretty dangerous for them if they peek. You can hold from this side, like this. You gotta watch for like CT because you could probably see their head from here. They could probably see you, and you could come down like this, and yeah. So that's about it for Ascent. I mean, it's a really good map. If you have any questions about how to learn it, then let me know. Make sure to subscribe, leave a comment if you guys have any more things you wanna me to make videos about. Also, follow my Twitch thing, that top right. I left it on for this video. That's my followers. If we get to 100 followers, that'd be sick. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed, hope it helped. Hope you guys have a nice day.